we have a few announcements, just reminders for certain things that you do need to sign up for. We have the Honor Your Educator Sunday coming up in November, and that means there are invites that you can get at the connection counter. But the idea would be to invite someone who's been important in your life. Maybe a teacher, so the kids invite a teacher. Maybe there's a mentor, a coach, a friend who's really come alongside you. We have 2 services that day, and it's important that we get the RSVPs of who's bringing who on what time and day, or for that day. So really important for you to do that. We have the trunk or treat coming up, and sign up. I did sign up today finally. I'm usually one of the last, but it's a great outreach for us. If you are not able to attend, please donate candy, but if you can, we put our vehicles here, we open the trunk or the back of our car, kids come in their costumes, and they are able to have a safe celebration of a fall holiday. New Friends, again, is coming up at the end of the month. We have several things, so if you look at your bulletin and just take the inside dark insert, that's something you can put on your refrigerator and have as a reminder of everything that is coming up. And if you are visiting us for the first time today, or you're new to this church, we're so glad that you're here. We thank God for you. We'd like you to fill out the insert in the bulletin, your name, your information, turn it in at the connection counter. We want to be connected to you, and if you have a prayer request, we'd love to pray for you, whatever may be going on. You know, Deception's End, has anybody gone to one of their concerts here? Can I get a holler from that? All right. But tonight they're playing, and I think what's important, you know, it's a great story for me just to see them all participating. But they are more than just a rock band, and a good one at that. They have a real ministry, and they reach people who are going through traumas in their life, trying to overcome obstacles, addictions, and so on. And so your support of them and being a part of the events that they have is really an encouragement to them in their ministry. So if you can make it tonight, that would be great. But we have a very special event today, and if I could bring up our grade school kids right now. Come on up. I am thinking that was planned. Good job, good job. You scared me. Okay, so get ready to worship, Grace.
have a seat here. While you all were shaking hands and stuff, that was kind of cool that we had a couple of the road crew come up and unplug all the mics and magically move that stuff away, and they plugged in the new monitor and stuff. I felt like this is a real concert, man. I feel pretty cool right now. It's kind of neat to see the kids come up here and get to participate in church and get to lift God up in worship. And what a great job they do, because they just get up here and sing. They have no inhibitions, they have no fear, no anxiety. They just get up here and sing. And so it's great to see them. And I think today they're the worship leaders. Not only that, but they're going to lead us into our message today, because today we're going to be hearing a little bit more about Pharaoh. And so keep that in mind as we move forward with this morning's message. Let's stand up and let's sing like those kids did. Make yourselves comfortable. I'd like to invite the gentlemen who are going to do the offering to come forward today. We're going to ask you guys to just hang out in the front for a moment, because I want to share a story. Something that happened to me this week. This year I picked up intramurals. I do the intramural sports in my school, and so 2 days a week for about 6 weeks, I have the kids come in and we run a basketball tournament. And it's really a pretty neat tournament, because most of the kids who come there, they want to play, they want to participate, so they behave themselves. They have to keep up their grades, they have to behave in school to be a part of the program. And so everything's been real smooth. We did it last year as a pilot, things went well, and so they brought it back this year. And Tuesday, we had a gathering, and we're about halfway through the tournament now, and everything's just been real smooth. It's been fun, no problems at all. And so Tuesday, I had a little bit of an overlap in scheduling. We had intramurals from 3:30 until roughly 5 o'clock, but then I had to be home in Manhattan to take my son Grant to his karate lesson. And that starts at 6 o'clock. So I really have very little time to mess around. And so I let the kids know that we're going to come out and we're going to have our tournament today, but once this thing ends, I've got to be out of here. So I need you guys to get dressed quickly. I need you to help me out and help me to get home so I can pick up my son. And we played our games. Everything went well. We were right on time. Everything was going perfectly. And the last game of the day went into overtime. There was a tie, and so the game went into overtime, and I had not made provisions for overtime, so I thought I've got to make this up on the fly, but it's a tournament, so it can't end in a tie. Somebody has to win to move on, and somebody has to lose to go into the other bracket. And so I said, I'll tell you what, we're going to give you guys a 3-minute overtime period, and whatever happens after 3 minutes, that we'll see who the winner is. So the kids played their 3 minutes, and they played to a tie. And so I said, we're going to go into another overtime, and this one's going to be a 1-minute overtime. By the way, the next round is going to be sudden death. But I told them we'll give you a 1-minute overtime, so we did that. They played, and finally we had a winner. And I walked over and I told the kids, guys, I really appreciate your help today. I've got to get out of here. I got to get home and get my son, so can you please hustle it up? And everybody did that. The kids were great except for one boy. One boy thought he was going to do a GQ shoot after we were done, and so he really took his time, and he was getting self-dressed slowly and making sure that everything was just so. And I was frustrated, but I thought, you know what? I can't really ask these guys to just get up and leave half naked. I mean, they played the game. It's not their fault that I double booked. And so I'm frustrated, but I waited and I waited. Finally, this young man got dressed. And he and I exited the gym. We were the last two to exit the gym. And I walked with him toward the door, the exit to our school. And as we approached the door, a couple of students came running into the school. And they looked at this young man and said, "Don't go out there." You know, and I'm still in a hurry. My mind is on getting home for karate. And so he looked at the kids and said, you know, why would I go out there? And all I heard was the word hoodie. I think it was hoodie. And I didn't know what that meant. So I exited the building. And as I exited the building, I heard these cars squealing through the parking lot. I heard the brakes, slamming, and there's another car, boom, boom, bouncing over the curb. It's driving onto the football field, and these are police cars. Sirens are blaring, and I'm thinking, my goodness, what's going on? So I walked around the corner of the building, and I see this young man down on the ground, face down, and there's a police officer on top of him. He's got a knee in the kid's back. He's pulling his arms back like a wishbone at Thanksgiving. And I'm thinking, my goodness, what did these kids do that they deserve that? And I thought maybe they were having a fight or something. And there's another officer who just turns out to be my across-the-street neighbor. My neighbor is a Country Club Hills police officer. And he's now running after another kid. And so I'm thinking, goodness, what happened? Well, my neighbor comes back and he grabs this kid by the ears, the one who they pinned to the ground. They've now got him up in cuffs. They put him on the back of the car. He grabs this kid by the ears and he gives him an earful. Things I can't say today in church, but he gave him an earful. And I still thought, what on earth could these kids have done? Well, turns out this young man had a gun. He came up to the school with a gun, and when the police officers were made aware of it, they came flying into the parking lot. This boy ran. He tried to throw the gun into a sewage drain. The police officer was able to track him down. They had another guy taking photos of the gun on the ground. Another young man ran, got away. He was behind a church. The police eventually caught him. And so I finally got to my neighbor and I said, "Hey, Eric, I was in charge of the program. I don't know if this is my kids. Do I have to fill out paperwork? Do you need some sort of a statement? What's going on here?" And he said, "Well, here's the deal." He said, "I just picked up a gun over here by the sewage drain." He said, "There's a bullet in the chamber." And he said, "This thing was cocked and locked." Now, I'm not gun savvy, so I don't know exactly what that means. But the way he explained it, he said, there was a bullet in the chamber. These young men did not come up here today to try to scare somebody by flashing a little muscle. They came up here to kill somebody. So the other young man that they tracked down behind the church also had a gun, same conditions, bullet in the chamber, ready to go. He ditched it, but the police officers were able to find it. So I'm thinking, I still don't have all the information. What's going on here? Turns out that these two young men came up there to kill GQ. The young man who was in the gym with me, apparently last year he got into some nonsense with one of their sisters. Legally, they weren't able to say that he had done anything wrong, but these young men decided that they were going to take things into their own hands, and so they came up to the school to kill that young man. Now, I don't know what would have happened. Maybe they're good shots. Maybe they would have chickened out. I don't know. But I do know that had we not gone into double overtime, had that young man not taken a few extra minutes to get himself dressed, he and I would have walked out that exit at the same time. Yeah. I don't know what would have happened. I don't know what God had in store, but I know this. I know that God intervened on my behalf. And some people might say, you know, it was coincidence, Rick. How do you know that was God? I know it was God. And, you know, Pat shared a story with us this morning about one of his daughters who was in a car accident this week. And he said, when you look at the car, she shouldn't be with us today. But she is. And I think that everyone in this room probably has a story just like that, where you've been through something that you cannot explain, how you were delivered through it. And yet God reached out and He delivered you. Some of you might be going through it right now. I've got family in the room who are watching a family member die before their eyes. And so whatever your situation is, whether you've been delivered, whether you're being delivered, or whether you need delivery, this song is going to be a great way for us to really look at what God does for us and how He delivers us through everything. And here's the greatest thing of all. Whether that young man would have shot me or whatever, I know that I would have been with Jesus. Because Jesus went to a cross and He delivered me. The guys are going to come across right now with the plates, and they're going to pass those. And once the plates get through, we'd ask you to get up and sing along with us. But as we sing, as you do your offering, remember that's an act of worship too. And God has delivered all of us. We owe Him something. Keep that in mind as we give God our song, as we give God our resource. Deliver me out of my sadness. Deliver me from all of the madness. Deliver me, courage to guide me.